Hello, my dear English learners. Welcome back to English Practice with Julia. I'm Julia, and I'm truly so happy to have you here with me today. If this is your first time here, then let me warmly welcome you. Please feel relaxed and comfortable. You do not need perfect English to join this lesson. You only need a little time, a little patience, and the willingness to learn. And I'll be here to guide you gently, step by step, every single day. We upload a new English learning video every day, so you can keep practicing in a calm, easy, and consistent way without pressure. Today, I want you to think of this lesson as a cozy English conversation. Just you and me, learning together in a simple and peaceful way. There is no need to hurry, and there is no need to feel nervous. We are going to gently improve your communication skills in English, step by step, in a way that feels natural and comfortable. So if you can, please take a pen and some paper and keep them near you. It's not a rule, of course, but it can really help you remember new ideas more easily. And it can help you feel more confident as you practice. Now, today's topic is something very important, something that can truly change the way you speak and connect with people. And that is improving your communication skills in English. You may already know many English words. You may understand grammar, but sometimes speaking clearly, expressing your ideas, and feeling confident in conversations can still feel a little difficult, and that is completely okay. In today's lesson, we are going to explore simple, practical, and powerful ways to help you communicate better in English. Not in a complicated or stressful way, but in a calm, natural, and real-life way. You will learn how to express your thoughts more clearly, how to respond more naturally, and how to feel more comfortable when speaking with others. We will go through real-life situations, everyday conversations, and simple sentence patterns that you can use again and again. You will also practice listening, repeating, and thinking in English so that your communication becomes smoother, more natural, and more confident over time. And slowly, step by step, you will start to notice something beautiful. You will not just understand English, you will begin to feel it, to use it, and to communicate with it in your daily life in a way that feels easy and real. Before we begin, may I ask you for one small and kind favor? If you enjoy learning English with me in this calm and friendly way, please subscribe and press the bell icon too. That way, you won't miss our daily lessons, and it also supports me so I can keep creating these gentle lessons for you. Thank you so much. Truly, I really appreciate it. Let's imagine a small real-life situation. You meet someone, maybe a colleague or a classmate, and they ask you, "What did you do today?" Now, instead of trying to build a long, perfect sentence, you can simply say, "Today, I woke up early. I had breakfast, and then I went to work." This is simple, clear, and completely natural. Now I want you to try this with me, slowly and calmly. Repeat in your mind or softly with your voice. Today, I woke up early, I had breakfast, and then I went to work. Take your time. Feel each word. Don't rush. You see, communication becomes easier when you break your ideas into small pieces. Instead of one long sentence, you use short, connected thoughts. This is exactly how native speakers communicate in daily life. They don't always speak in perfect, long grammar structures. They speak in natural chunks. Now let's go a little deeper. Sometimes learners try to translate everything from their native language into English, word by word, and this creates confusion because languages don't always follow the same structure. So instead of translating, try to think in simple English ideas. For example, instead of thinking a complex sentence, just think, I am tired. I need rest. I will sleep early. These small thoughts are powerful. Let's practice together again. Imagine you had a long day and you feel tired. How would you say it? You can say, I had a long day. I feel very tired. I think I will sleep early tonight. Simple, natural, and easy to understand. Another important part of communication is listening. Yes, listening is just as important as speaking. Because good communication is not only about what you say, it is also about how well you understand others. When you listen carefully, you respond better, and your conversation becomes smoother. So here is a small practice for you. Imagine someone says, I'm feeling a little stressed today. Instead of staying silent or feeling confused, you can respond with a simple and kind sentence like, I understand. I hope your day gets better. Or, that sounds difficult. Take care of yourself. You see, communication is also about emotion, not just words. Now let's try this together. Repeat softly. I understand. I hope your day gets better. Again, slowly. That sounds difficult. Take care of yourself. Feel the calm tone. Feel the connection. This is real communication. Another simple way to improve your communication is by using everyday phrases that people use naturally. For example, instead of saying, I do not understand, you can say, sorry, I didn't catch that. Or, can you say that again? These phrases sound more natural and friendly. Let's take a simple sentence. I'm really happy today. Now say it in your mind or softly. But this time, feel the meaning. I'm really happy today. Let your voice rise slightly. Let it carry a soft energy. Now compare it to a flat version. I'm really happy today. Can you feel the difference? One feels real, the other feels empty. Now try another example. That sounds interesting. Say it once in a neutral tone, and then say it again with a little curiosity. That sounds interesting. Allow your voice to show that you are engaged. This small change makes your communication much stronger. You see, when you speak English, you are not only sharing information, you are sharing feeling. And this is what makes people connect with you. Even if your grammar is not perfect, your tone can still carry your message beautifully. Now let's move into a simple real-life situation. Imagine you are talking to someone about your weekend. Instead of saying everything in one long sentence, you can build your story step by step. On the weekend, I stayed at home, I watched a movie, and I also called my friend. Simple, clear, and easy to follow. Let's practice together. Repeat slowly. On the weekend, I stayed at home. I watched a movie. And I also called my friend. Take a breath between each idea. Feel the rhythm. Now I want you to create your own version. Think about your last weekend and describe it in small parts. Maybe like, on the weekend, I visited my family. We had dinner together and we talked for a long time. Speak gently, no pressure. Another powerful way to improve your communication is by asking simple questions, because communication is not only about speaking, it is about interaction. When you ask questions, you keep the conversation alive and you show interest in the other person. For example, if someone tells you, I started a new job, you can respond with, oh, that's great. What kind of job is it? Or how do you feel about it? These simple questions make the conversation flow naturally. Let's practice. Repeat after me. What kind of job is it? Again, how do you feel about it? Keep your tone soft and friendly. Now imagine a short conversation. Someone says, I moved to a new city, and you reply, that's exciting. How is it so far? You see, you are not just answering, you are building connection. Now let's take another step. Sometimes you may not know the exact word you want to say, and that's completely normal. In that moment, instead of stopping, try to explain your idea in a different way. This is called paraphrasing, and it is a very powerful communication skill. For example, if you don't remember the word restaurant, you can say, a place where people go to eat, and the other person will understand you. This is real communication. Not perfect, but effective. Let's practice this idea. Imagine you forget the word umbrella. You can say, something you use when it rains. Simple, creative, and clear. Now try one more. If you forget the word library, you can say, a quiet place where people read books. Very good. You are learning to communicate, not just remember words. Another important habit is to repeat key words in your sentence. This helps you gain time and also makes your speech clearer. For example, I think it's a good idea. Or I was really surprised. This is natural, and many native speakers do this. Let's practice. Repeat softly. I think it's a good idea. Again, I was really surprised. Notice how it gives you a moment to think. Now let's bring everything together in a small speaking exercise. Imagine someone asks you, how was your day? You can answer like this. My day was good. I had some work in the morning. Then I took a short break. And in the evening, I relaxed and watched something simple, natural, and complete. Let's practice this idea together. Imagine someone asks you, do you like coffee? Instead of saying just yes, try to add a small natural extension. Yes, I really like coffee, especially in the morning. Now repeat softly. Feel the rhythm. Now try another one. Did you watch that movie? You can say, yes, I watched it last night. It was really interesting. Simple, clear, and complete. You see, communication improves when you add just a little more detail, not too much, just enough to keep the conversation alive. This small habit makes your English sound more natural and more engaging. Now let's go a little deeper into something very useful, connecting your ideas smoothly, because sometimes learners speak in separate sentences, but they don't connect them, and this can make speech feel a little broken. So let's gently learn how to connect ideas using simple words. For example, you can use words like and, but, so, and because. These are small words, but they are very powerful. They help your ideas flow like a natural conversation. Let's take a simple example. I wanted to go out, but it started raining. Repeat slowly. I wanted to go out, but it started raining. Notice how but connects the two ideas smoothly. Now another example. I was tired, so I went to bed early. Again. I was tired, so I went to bed early. Very natural, very clear. Now it's your turn. Try to create your own sentence. Maybe like, I had a lot of work, so I stayed at home. Or, I wanted to study, but I felt sleepy. Take your time. Speak gently. Another important part of communication is showing that you are listening. This is something many learners forget, but in real conversations, people often use small reactions like, oh, really? I see. That's nice. These small words make a big difference because they show that you are engaged. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Oh, really? Again. I see. And one more. That's nice. Keep your tone soft and interested. Now imagine someone says, I traveled to another city last week. You can respond. Oh, really? How was it? You see, you are not just listening, you are participating, and this creates a natural flow in conversation. Now let's move into another helpful skill, giving simple opinions, because communication is not only about facts, it is also about sharing what you think and how you feel. And you don't need complex language for that. For example, you can say, I think it's a good idea. Or, in my opinion, it's very useful. Or even, I don't think that's necessary. These are simple structures, but they are used all the time in daily conversations. Let's practice together. Repeat slowly. I think it's a good idea. Again. In my opinion, it's very useful. And one more. I don't think that's necessary. Feel the calm confidence in your voice. Now try your own opinion. Imagine someone asks, do you like studying at night? You can say, I think it's better for me because it's quiet. Or, I don't think it works for me. I feel too tired. Both are natural. Both are correct. Another gentle habit you can build is to use simple examples when you speak, because examples make your communication clearer. Instead of saying something general, you show a real situation, and this helps the other person understand you better. Now, for example, instead of saying, I like exercise, you can say, I like exercise. For example, I go for a walk every evening. Now your idea becomes more clear and more interesting. Let's practice. Repeat softly. For example, I go for a walk every evening. Again. For example, I watch English videos every day. Very good. Now try your own sentence. Maybe like, I enjoy learning English. For example, I listen to lessons every morning. Take your time. No pressure. Now, let's combine everything we have learned into one simple speaking practice. Imagine someone asks you, "What do you usually do in your free time?" You can answer like this: "In my free time, I like to relax. I usually watch videos, and sometimes I go for a walk. I think it helps me feel better." Simple, connected, and natural. Now it's your turn. Answer this question in your own way. What do you usually do in your free time? Speak slowly, connect your ideas, and use simple words. Sometimes, learners speak just to complete a sentence, but communication is not about completing sentences. It is about sharing a message. So before you speak, even for a small moment, ask yourself, what do I really want to say? And then express it in the simplest way possible. Let's take a small example. Imagine you want to invite someone for coffee. Instead of thinking about a perfect sentence, just focus on your intention. You want to invite, so you can say, "Would you like to have coffee with me?" Simple, polite, and clear. Now let's practice together. Repeat softly. "Would you like to have coffee with me?" Feel the gentle tone. Feel the intention behind it. Now imagine another situation. You want to apologize. Your intention is to show regret. So you can say, "I'm really sorry for being late." Again, simple, but full of meaning. Repeat slowly. "I'm really sorry for being late." Let your voice carry a soft and sincere feeling. You see, when your intention is clear, your words become easier, and your communication becomes more natural. Now let's explore another important skill, which is describing things in a simple and clear way. Because in daily life, you often need to describe your day, your plans, your experiences, and even your feelings. And you don't need complex vocabulary for that. You just need simple structure and clarity. For example, if you want to describe your morning, you can say, "In the morning, I woke up early, I had breakfast, and then I started my work." This is easy to understand, and it sounds natural. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. "In the morning, I woke up early, I had breakfast, and then I started my work." Take a small pause between each idea. Now try your own version. Think about your morning and describe it in simple steps. Maybe like, "In the morning, I checked my phone, I had tea, and then I studied English." Speak gently. Now let's go a little deeper. Sometimes you may want to describe how something feels, not just what happened. And this is where simple feeling words become very useful. Words like happy, tired, excited, nervous. These words help you express yourself more clearly. For example, "I felt very happy when I saw my friend," or "I was a little nervous before the meeting." These sentences are simple, but they carry emotion. Let's practice together. Repeat softly. "I felt very happy when I saw my friend." Again. "I was a little nervous before the meeting." Feel the emotion in your voice. Now try your own example. Think about something you experienced recently and describe how you felt. Maybe like, I felt excited when I learned something new. Take your time. Another important part of communication is learning how to keep a conversation going, because sometimes learners answer a question and then the conversation stops. But with a small effort, you can continue it naturally. For example, if someone asks you, "Did you enjoy your weekend?" you can answer, "Yes, I really enjoyed it. I spent time with my family. What about you?" This small question at the end keeps the conversation alive. Let's practice. Repeat after me. What about you? Again. And you? These small phrases are very powerful. Now imagine a conversation. Someone says, "I had a busy day." And you respond, "Oh, I see. I had a busy day too. What did you do?" You are now creating a natural flow. Another helpful technique is to use simple fillers when you need time to think, because in real conversations, you don't always speak immediately. Sometimes you need a moment, and that's okay. You can use words like, "Well, let me think," or "actually." These give you a little time, and they also make your speech sound more natural. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. "Well, let me think." Again. "Actually, I'm not sure." Very natural, very useful. Now try using a filler in a sentence. Imagine someone asks, "What is your favorite movie?" You can say, "Well, let me think. I really like movies with a good story." You see, you gave yourself time, and your sentence flows naturally. Now, let's bring all of this together in a small speaking practice. Imagine someone asks you, "Tell me about your day." You can answer like this. "Well, in the morning, I woke up early. I felt a little tired, but after breakfast, I felt better. Then I did my work, and in the evening, I relaxed." What about you? This is natural, connected, and complete. Now it's your turn. Answer this question in your own way. Tell me about your day. Use simple ideas. Describe your feelings, and try to keep the conversation going. Let's take a small example. Imagine someone asks you, "What did you do yesterday?" You can answer in 3 simple steps. Yesterday, I woke up early. That's your beginning. Then I went to work and finished some tasks. That's your middle. And in the evening, I relaxed and watched a movie. That's your ending. Simple, clear, and easy to follow. Let's practice together. Repeat slowly. Yesterday, I woke up early. Then I went to work. And in the evening, I relaxed. Feel how your ideas are organized, one step at a time. Now it's your turn. Think about your yesterday and describe it using this simple flow: beginning, middle, and end. Speak gently and don't rush. Another helpful way to organize your thoughts is by using time expressions. Words like first, then, after that, and finally. These words guide your listener through your story and make your communication smoother. For example, you can say, "First, I finished my work. Then I met my friend. After that, we had dinner. And finally, I went home." This creates a natural sequence. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. First, I finished my work. Then I met my friend. After that, we had dinner. And finally, I went home. Very good. Now try your own example. Maybe like, first, I studied English, then I practiced speaking. After that, I listened to a lesson, and finally, I relaxed. Take your time. Oh, now let's gently move into another important skill, which is being more specific when you speak. Because sometimes learners use very general words like thing, stuff, or something. And while these are not wrong, using more specific words can make your communication clearer and more interesting. For example, instead of saying, I bought something, you can say, I bought a book, or I bought a new phone. Now your message is more clear. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I bought a book. Again. I bought a new phone. Feel the clarity. Now try your own sentence. Instead of saying something, say exactly what you mean. Maybe like, I watched a movie, or I cooked dinner. Speak slowly. Another useful habit is to give small details when you speak, not too many, just enough to make your message more complete. For example, instead of saying, I went somewhere, you can say, I went to the park in the evening. This small detail makes your sentence more vivid. Let's practice. Repeat softly. I went to the park in the evening. Again. I met my friend at a cafe. Very natural. Now try your own example. Add a small detail. Maybe like, I studied English in the morning, or I talked to my friend on the phone. Take your time. Now let's explore another important part of communication, which is asking for clarification. Because in real conversations, you will not always understand everything, and that's completely normal. What matters is how you handle that moment. And instead of feeling stuck, you can use simple and polite sentences like, could you explain that again? Or, what do you mean? Or, can you give me an example? These phrases help you stay in the conversation. Let's practice together. Repeat slowly. Could you explain that again? Again. What do you mean? And one more. Can you give me an example? Very good. Now imagine someone says something you don't fully understand. Instead of staying silent, you say, sorry, could you explain that again? And the conversation continues. You are now an active communicator. Another powerful skill is summarizing what someone said. This shows that you are listening carefully, and it also helps you confirm your understanding. For example, if someone says, I had a busy day at work, I had many meetings and deadlines, you can respond, so, you had a very busy day with a lot of meetings. This is simple, but very effective. Let's practice. Repeat softly. So, you had a very busy day. Again. So, you were very tired. Feel how you are reflecting the message. Now try your own example. Imagine someone tells you something, and you respond by summarizing it in a simple way. Take your time. Now let's bring everything together in a gentle speaking exercise. Imagine someone asks you, what did you do yesterday? You can answer like this. Yesterday, I had a busy day. First, I finished my work. Then I met my friend at a cafe. After that, we talked for a long time. And finally, I went home and relaxed. This is organized, clear, and natural. Let's begin with a small shift. Instead of saying, "My English is not good," try saying, "I am learning English and I am improving every day." Can you feel the difference? One feels limiting, the other feels positive and open. Now repeat softly. I am learning English and I am improving every day. Again, slowly. Feel the calm confidence in your voice. Another way to build confidence is by using sentences that you already know well. Instead of trying to create new and complex sentences all the time, use simple structures again and again and make them stronger through repetition. This creates fluency. For example, you can use patterns like I like, I usually, I feel, I think. These are simple, but they are used in almost every conversation. Let's practice together. Repeat slowly. I like learning English. Again, I usually study in the evening. And one more. I feel happy when I understand something new. Very good. Now try to build your own sentences using these patterns. Maybe like, I like listening to English, or I usually practice every day. Take your time. Now let's move into another important skill, which is handling small mistakes calmly. Because mistakes are a natural part of learning, and they are not something to fear. In fact, they are a sign that you are trying and growing. Sometimes you may say something and then realize it was not correct. Instead of stopping or feeling embarrassed, you can simply correct yourself in a natural way. For example, I went to the store yesterday. This is completely normal, and even native speakers do this. Let's practice. Repeat softly. I went yesterday. Again. She doesn't understand. Feel how you correct yourself calmly. Now try your own example. Say a sentence, and then gently correct it. This builds flexibility in your speaking. Another helpful habit is to slow down your speech, because when you speak too fast, your words may become unclear and you may feel more nervous. But when you speak slowly, you give yourself time to think and your message becomes clearer. Let's try a slow rhythm together. I am learning English every day. Feel each word. Let it flow gently. Now, try a natural sentence. I am learning English every day, but keep the calm pace. Not too fast, not too slow, just comfortable. Now let's explore another important part of communication, which is reacting naturally in conversations. Because communication is not only about speaking your ideas, it is also about responding to others in a real and human way. For example, if someone says, I got a new job, you can respond, that's amazing, congratulations, or that's great news. These small reactions show emotion and make the conversation more lively. Let's practice. Repeat after me. That's amazing. Congratulations. Again. That's great news. Keep your tone warm and friendly. Now imagine someone says, I had a difficult day. You can respond, I'm sorry to hear that. Or, I hope things get better. Simple, kind, and natural. Repeat softly. I'm sorry to hear that. Again, I hope things get better. Feel the gentle emotion in your voice. Now let's move into a small speaking exercise. Imagine someone tells you something good and something difficult, and you respond appropriately. Take your time, choose your words, and speak gently. Another powerful way to improve your communication is by practicing aloud, not just in your mind, because when you speak out loud, your brain and your voice work together, and this builds stronger fluency. You can practice by talking to yourself, describing your day, or even repeating sentences from lessons like this. The more you speak, the more natural it becomes. Let's try a simple practice together. Say out loud, "Right now, I am practicing English. I am speaking slowly, and I am improving." Take your time. Now, try your own version. Describe what you are doing at this moment. Maybe like, "I am listening to this lesson. I am learning new ideas, and I feel motivated." Speak gently. As you continue practicing like this, your confidence will grow, not suddenly, but slowly and steadily, like a quiet progress that becomes stronger every day. And one day, you will notice something beautiful. You will start speaking without fear, without overthinking, and with a calm sense of confidence, because you trusted yourself and you kept going. Let's start with something very simple. Imagine someone tells you, "I watched a movie last night." Instead of only saying, "That's nice," you can ask, "What kind of movie was it?" Or, "Did you enjoy it?" These questions are easy, but they open the conversation. Let's practice together. Repeat softly, "What kind of movie was it?" Again, "Did you enjoy it?" Feel the curiosity in your voice. Now imagine another situation. Someone says, "I'm learning English." You can ask, "How long have you been learning?" Or, "What do you find difficult?" You see, you are showing interest, and that makes communication more meaningful. Repeat after me. How long have you been learning? Again, what do you find difficult? Very good. Now let's take a small step forward. Instead of asking only simple questions, you can ask follow-up questions. This means you listen carefully and then ask something related to what the person said. This creates a smooth and natural flow. For example, someone says, "I went to the park yesterday." You can ask, "Oh, which park did you go to?" And after they answer, you can ask, "Was it crowded?" Or, "What did you do there?" This is how real conversations grow, step by step. Let's practice this idea. Imagine someone says, "I started a new hobby." You can ask, "That sounds interesting. What kind of hobby?" And then, "How did you start it?" Speak slowly. Now it's your turn. Create your own follow-up questions. Take your time and think gently. Another important communication skill is learning how to explain your ideas more clearly, especially when someone does not understand you the first time. Because this happens often, even for native speakers. Instead of repeating the same sentence again and again, try to say it in a different way, using simpler words or giving an example. This helps the other person understand you better. For example, if you say, It was challenging. And the other person looks confused. You can say, it was difficult, not easy, or it was hard to do. This makes your meaning clear. Let's practice together. Repeat softly. It was difficult, not easy. Again, it was hard to do. Very good. Now try your own example. Take a simple word and explain it in another way. Maybe like delicious. It means very tasty. Or expensive. It means it costs a lot. Speak calmly. Now let's explore another powerful habit, which is using simple comparisons. Because comparisons help you explain your ideas more clearly. And they are very common in daily conversations. For example, you can say, this place is quieter than the other one, or today is colder than yesterday. These sentences are simple, but very expressive. Let's practice. Repeat after me. This place is quieter than the other one. Again. Today is colder than yesterday. Feel the smooth flow. Now try your own comparison. Maybe like, this book is more interesting than that one. Or, this task is easier than before. Take your time. Another important part of communication is being polite, because the way you say something can change how it is received. Even simple sentences can sound more friendly when you use polite language. For example, instead of saying, give me water, you can say, could you please give me some water? This sounds much softer and more respectful. Let's practice. Repeat softly. Could you please help me? Again. Would you mind repeating that? Very good. Now imagine a situation. You need help. Instead of feeling nervous, you calmly say, excuse me, could you please help me? And the other person understands your request. You see, politeness makes communication smoother. Now let's bring everything together in a small speaking practice. Imagine you are having a conversation with someone about their day. You can say, how was your day? Then listen and ask, what did you do? And then, did you enjoy it? And maybe add, that sounds interesting. This creates a full and natural interaction. One simple way to do this is by using linking phrases, small expressions that help you continue speaking without interruption. Phrases like, and then, after that, so, because, and at the same time. These phrases act like bridges, connecting your ideas together. Let's take a simple example. I woke up early, and then I went for a walk. After that, I had breakfast. Can you feel how the ideas flow together, smoothly, gently, naturally? Now repeat softly. I woke up early, and then I went for a walk. After that, I had breakfast. Keep your voice steady and relaxed. Now try your own example. Think about your morning and connect your ideas using these small phrases. Take your time. Another powerful way to improve your flow is by practicing speaking in longer but simple sentences, not complex, just slightly longer, so your brain learns to hold the sentence together. For example, instead of saying, I woke up early, I was tired, you can say, I woke up early, but I was still a little tired. Now the sentence feels more complete and connected. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. I woke up early, but I was still a little tired. Again. I wanted to go out, but it started raining. Feel how the sentence continues naturally. Now, try your own sentence. Connect two ideas using but or and. Speak gently. Now let's explore something very useful, which is giving reasons, because in conversations, people often explain why they think something or why they did something. And this adds depth to your communication. For example, instead of saying, I stayed at home, you can say, I stayed at home because I felt tired. Now your sentence has more meaning. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I stayed at home because I felt tired. Again, I like this place because it is quiet. Very natural. Now try your own example. Give a reason. Maybe like, I am learning English because I want to improve. Take your time. Another important skill is learning how to express uncertainty, because in real conversations, you are not always sure about everything, and it is completely okay to say that. You can use simple phrases like, I think, maybe, I'm not sure, or it seems like. These phrases make your communication more natural and more honest. Let's practice. Repeat softly. I think it's a good idea. Again. Maybe we can try later. And one more. I'm not sure about that. Feel the softness in your tone. Now try your own sentence. Express something with a little uncertainty. Maybe like, I think it will rain today. Or maybe I will go out later. Speak gently. Now let's move into another powerful area. Storytelling. Yes, even simple storytelling can improve your communication, because when you tell a short story, you practice organizing ideas, connecting sentences, and expressing feelings all together. Oh, let's try a small example. Yesterday, I met an old friend. We had coffee together, and we talked about our memories. It made me feel very happy. Simple, but complete. Now repeat softly. Yesterday, I met an old friend. We had coffee, and it made me feel happy. Feel the flow. Now it's your turn. Create a small story about something that happened recently. Keep it simple. Beginning, middle, and feeling. Take your time. Another helpful habit is to listen to your own voice. Yes. This may feel a little unusual at first, but it is very powerful. When you record yourself speaking and then listen, you begin to notice your rhythm, your clarity, and areas you can improve. You don't need anything complicated. Just speak for a minute, record it, and listen calmly, without judging yourself. Just observe and slowly improve. Now let's try a small speaking exercise. Imagine you are explaining your daily routine to someone. You can say, in the morning, I wake up early, and then I prepare for my day. After that, I start my work, and in the evening, I relax and spend time with my family. Smooth, connected, and natural. Let's start with something simple. Instead of saying, I like music, you can say, I really like calm music, especially in the evening. It helps me relax. Now your sentence feels more alive, more personal, more real. Let's practice together. Repeat softly. I really like calm music, especially in the evening. It helps me relax. Feel how your sentence has more depth. Now try your own example. Take a simple idea and add a small personal detail. Maybe like, I enjoy learning English, especially when I can understand something clearly. Take your time. Another powerful way to make your communication more personal is by sharing small experiences, even very simple ones, because these create connection and make your conversation more interesting. For example, instead of saying, I was busy, you can say, I was busy yesterday. I had a lot of work, and I felt a little tired at the end of the day. Now your listener can imagine your experience. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. I was busy yesterday. I had a lot of work, and I felt a little tired. Very natural. Now try your own example. Describe a small experience from your day. Maybe like, today I studied English, and I felt happy when I understood something new. Speak gently. Now let's explore another important skill, which is agreeing and disagreeing in a polite and natural way. Because in conversations, people often share opinions, and you may agree, or you may have a different idea, and both are completely okay. For example, if someone says, I think mornings are the best time to work, you can agree by saying, yes, I think so too. Mornings feel very fresh. Or you can gently disagree. I understand, but I prefer working at night. This keeps the conversation respectful and natural. Let's practice together. Repeat softly. Yes, I think so too. Again, I understand, but I prefer something else. Feel the calm tone. Now try your own example. Imagine someone shares an opinion and you respond, either by agreeing or gently sharing a different view. Take your time. Another useful skill is learning how to add small comments during a conversation. These are short sentences that show you are engaged, and they make the conversation feel more natural. For example, you can say, that makes sense. I understand what you mean. Or, that sounds interesting. These are simple, but they keep the conversation alive. Let's practice. Repeat after me. That makes sense. Again. I understand what you mean. And one more. That sounds interesting. Very good. Now imagine someone is explaining something to you. Instead of staying silent, you add a small comment like, I see. That makes sense. This shows you are listening, and it creates a natural flow. Now let's move into another important area, which is expressing your future plans. Because in daily conversations, people often talk about what they will do or what they hope to do, and this is a great way to practice communication. For example, you can say, tomorrow, I will study English, or next week, I plan to visit my family. These are simple structures, but they are used all the time. Let's practice. Repeat softly. Tomorrow, I will study English. Again. Next week, I plan to visit my family. Feel the smooth flow. Many learners think, if I make a mistake, I should stop. But in natural communication, people don't stop. They adjust. They continue. They find another way. And this is exactly what you are learning to do, step by step. Let's begin with a very simple situation. Imagine you are speaking and suddenly you forget a word. Instead of going silent, you can pause and say, instead of going silent, you can pause and say, how can I say this? Or I don't remember the word, but, and then explain your idea in a simple way. This keeps the conversation alive. Let's practice together. Repeat softly. How can I say this? Again, I don't remember the word, but feel how these phrases give you space. Now imagine you forgot the word calculator. You can say, I don't remember the word, but it's something we use for numbers. And the other person will understand. You are still communicating, even without the exact word. Now try your own example. Think of an object and explain it without naming it. Speak gently. Another common situation is when you don't understand something. Maybe the other person speaks too fast or uses an unfamiliar word. Instead of feeling lost, you can take control of the conversation by asking for help. You can say, could you speak a little slower? Or, sorry, I didn't understand that. Or, can you say that in another way? These are simple, but very important communication tools. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. Could you speak a little slower? Again, sorry, I didn't understand that. And one more. Can you say that in another way? Very good. Now imagine someone speaks very quickly instead of feeling nervous. You calmly say, sorry, could you speak a little slower? And now the conversation becomes easier. You see, you are guiding the conversation. Now let's explore another situation. When there is silence in a conversation, sometimes both people stop speaking, and it feels a little uncomfortable. But you can gently restart the conversation with a simple sentence. For example, you can say, so, what are your plans for today? Or, by the way, have you seen that movie? These small sentences help you continue the interaction. Let's practice. Repeat after me. So, what are your plans for today? Again, by the way, have you seen that movie? Feel the natural tone. Now try your own sentence. Think of a simple way to restart a conversation. Take your time. Another important skill is learning how to respond when you feel nervous, because sometimes your heart beats faster, your mind feels blank, and you don't know what to say. And this is completely normal. In that moment, you don't need to say something perfect. You can say something simple, like, let me think for a second, or that's a good question. These small phrases give you time and reduce pressure. Let's practice. Repeat softly. Let me think for a second. Again. That's a good question. Very natural. Now imagine someone asks you something unexpected. Instead of freezing, you say, that's a good question. Let me think. And then you continue. You are staying in the conversation. Now let's explore another powerful skill, which is finishing your thoughts clearly. Because sometimes learners start a sentence, but don't finish it, and this can make communication unclear. For example, instead of saying, I was going to, and stopping, you can complete your idea. I was going to call you, but I forgot. This gives a complete message. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. I was going to call you, but I forgot. Again. I wanted to go out, but I stayed home. Feel the complete thought. How sometimes learners try to create new sentences every time they speak, and this can feel difficult and slow. But when you practice a few useful patterns regularly, they become automatic, and your communication becomes smoother. Let's start with a very simple pattern. I used to, but now I... This pattern helps you talk about change, something from the past, and something in the present. For example, I used to wake up late, but now I wake up early. Or, I used to feel nervous speaking English, but now I feel more confident. These sentences are very natural and very useful. Let's practice together. Repeat softly. I used to wake up late, but now I wake up early. Again. I used to feel nervous, but now I feel more confident. Feel the smooth contrast. Now try your own example. Think about something that has changed in your life and express it using this pattern. Take your time. Now let's explore another helpful pattern. The reason is. This helps you explain your ideas more clearly, especially when you want to give a reason. For example, I like studying at night. The reason is, it is very quiet. Or, I prefer this method. The reason is, it is simple and effective. This adds clarity to your communication. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. I like studying at night. The reason is, it is very quiet. Again. I prefer this way. The reason is, it is easier. Very good. Now try your own sentence. Explain something using the reason is. Speak gently. Another useful pattern is, it depends. This is very helpful when your answer is not simple, when there are different possibilities. For example, do you like working in the morning? You can say, it depends. Sometimes I like it, but sometimes I feel tired. This sounds natural and flexible. Let's practice. Repeat softly. It depends. Sometimes I like it. Again. It depends. Sometimes it is easy. Feel the natural tone. Now try your own example. Answer a question using it depends. Take your time. Now let's move into another powerful pattern. What I mean is, this helps you clarify your idea, especially if you feel your first sentence was not clear. For example, I think it's difficult. What I mean is, it takes a lot of time and effort. This helps the listener understand you better. Let's practice. Repeat after me. What I mean is, it takes time. Again. What I mean is, it is not easy. Very good. Now try your own sentence. Say something. And then clarify it using what I mean is. Speak slowly. Another helpful pattern is, one thing I noticed is, this is very useful when you want to share an observation or experience. For example, one thing I noticed is, when I practice every day, I improve faster. Or, one thing I noticed is, listening helps me understand more. These sentences sound thoughtful and natural. Let's practice. Repeat softly. One thing I noticed is, I improve when I practice. Again. One thing I noticed is, it becomes easier. Feel the calm rhythm. Sometimes learners speak in a very neutral way without showing much feeling. And while this is not wrong, it can make conversations feel a little flat. But when you add small emotional reactions, even simple ones, your communication becomes warmer and more interesting. Let's start with something very simple. Imagine someone tells you good news, like, I passed my exam. Instead of just saying, okay, you can say, that's wonderful, or I'm so happy for you. These small reactions show your feeling. Let's practice together. Repeat softly. That's wonderful. Again. I'm so happy for you. Feel the warmth in your voice. Now imagine someone shares something surprising, like, I moved to another country. You can respond, wow, that's amazing. Or, really? That's interesting. These expressions show curiosity and excitement. Repeat after me. Wow, that's amazing. Again, really? That's interesting. Very good. Now let's explore another situation. When someone shares something difficult, maybe they say, I had a stressful day. Instead of giving a neutral reply, you can say, I'm sorry to hear that. Or, that sounds tough. This shows empathy and creates a deeper connection. Let's practice. Repeat softly. I'm sorry to hear that. Again. That sounds tough. Feel the gentle tone. Now try your own example. Imagine someone shares a feeling and you respond with an emotional reaction. Take your time. Another important part of emotional communication is using simple expressions to show agreement or encouragement, because in conversations, people often share their thoughts and they want to feel heard. For example, you can say, that's a great idea, or you're absolutely right, or that makes a lot of sense. These small phrases show support. Let's practice together. Repeat slowly. That's a great idea. Again. You're absolutely right. And one more. That makes a lot of sense. Very natural. Now imagine someone says, I think practicing every day is important. You can respond, yes, that makes a lot of sense. You are showing agreement and understanding. Now let's move into another powerful area, expressing your own feelings more clearly, because communication is not only about reacting to others, it is also about sharing your inner thoughts and emotions in a simple and honest way. For example, you can say, I feel happy when I learn something new, or I feel a little nervous when I speak in front of people. These sentences are simple, but they express something real. Let's practice. Repeat softly. I feel happy when I learn something new. Again, I feel a little nervous when I speak. Feel the honesty in your voice. Now try your own sentence. Express how you feel about something. Maybe like, I feel excited when I understand English better. Take your time. Another useful habit is to soften your expressions when needed, especially when you are giving an opinion or responding to something sensitive, because soft language makes your communication more polite and comfortable. For example, instead of saying, you are wrong, you can say, I'm not sure about that, or I see it a little differently. This sounds much more respectful. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. I'm not sure about that. Again, I see it a little differently. Very good. Now imagine a conversation where you disagree with someone. Instead of creating tension, you gently say, I understand your point, but I see it a little differently. This keeps the conversation calm. Now let's bring everything together in a small speaking exercise. Imagine someone shares good news, then a small problem, and then an idea. You respond with emotion, support, and your own feeling. Something like, that's wonderful. I'm really happy for you. And I'm sorry to hear about the problem. But I think your idea is great. This is natural, expressive, and complete. Let's begin with a simple example. Imagine you are talking to someone and the conversation becomes quiet. Instead of waiting, you can gently say, So, what do you like to do in your free time? This opens a new topic and keeps the conversation alive. Let's practice together. Repeat softly. So, what do you like to do in your free time? Feel the natural tone. Now imagine another situation. You are talking about work and you want to change the topic slightly. You can say, By the way, have you been learning anything new recently? This is a smooth transition. It feels natural and not forced. Repeat after me. By the way, have you been learning anything new recently? Very good. Now try your own sentence. Think of a way to gently change the topic. Take your time. Another important communication skill is learning how to expand a conversation topic instead of ending it quickly, because sometimes learners give a short answer and the conversation stops. But you can extend it by adding a little more detail or asking a related question. For example, if someone asks, Do you like reading? Instead of saying only yes, you can say, Yes, I like reading, especially books about personal growth. What about you? Now the conversation continues. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. Yes, I like reading, especially books about personal growth. Again. What about you? Feel the smooth extension. Now try your own example. Answer a question, and then extend it with a small detail or question. Speak gently. Now let's explore another useful skill, which is checking understanding, because in communication, it is important to make sure both people understand each other. And this can be done with simple phrases. For example, you can say, Do you understand what I mean? Or does that make sense? Or is that clear? These help you confirm your message. Let's practice. Repeat softly. Does that make sense? Again. Do you understand what I mean? Very natural. Now imagine you are explaining something and you want to check if the other person understands. You say, Is that clear? And they respond. Now your communication becomes more effective. Another powerful habit is summarizing a conversation before moving on. This shows clarity and helps both people stay on the same page. For example, you can say, So, we talked about your plans for the weekend, and it sounds like you're going to relax. This is simple, but very helpful. Let's practice. Repeat after me. So, it sounds like you had a busy day. Again. So, you're planning to study tomorrow. Feel the calm summary. Now try your own example. Summarize something someone said. Take your time. Now let's move into another important skill, which is expressing interest in a topic. Because when you show interest, the other person feels comfortable and the conversation becomes more engaging. For example, you can say, "That's really interesting. Tell me more about it." Or, "I'd love to hear more." These phrases encourage the other person to continue. Let's practice. Repeat softly. "That's really interesting. Tell me more about it." Again, "I'd love to hear more." Very good. Now imagine someone is telling you about their experience. Instead of giving a short reply, you say, "That's really interesting. Tell me more." And the conversation becomes deeper. Now let's bring everything together in a gentle speaking exercise. Imagine you are having a conversation with someone. You ask a question, you listen, you extend the topic, you check understanding, and then you guide the conversation to a new idea. Something like, "So, what do you like to do in your free time? That sounds interesting. Tell me more. Does that make sense? By the way, have you been learning anything new?" This creates a full and natural flow. Let's practice together. Repeat softly. "Hey, how's your day going?" And then, "Hello, how has your day been?" Feel the difference in tone. Now try your own example. Say one sentence in a casual way, and then say it again in a more polite way. Take your time. Another important part of adapting your communication is choosing the right level of detail, because sometimes you need to give a short answer, and sometimes a more detailed explanation, depending on the situation. For example, if someone casually asks, "What are you doing?" you can simply say, "I'm studying." But if someone asks you more seriously, you might say, "I'm studying English. I'm working on improving my communication skills." Now your answer fits the situation. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. "I'm studying." And then, "I'm studying English. I'm improving my communication skills." Feel how the detail changes. Now try your own example. Give a short answer, and then a slightly longer one. Speak gently. Now let's explore another important skill, which is being clear and direct when needed, because sometimes communication requires clarity, especially when you are making a request or explaining something important. For example, instead of saying something unclear like, "Maybe you can do this," you can say, "Could you please do this by tomorrow?" This is polite, but also clear. Let's practice. Repeat after me. "Could you please send me the message?" Again. "Please let me know when you are ready." Very good. Now imagine a situation where you need something. Instead of feeling unsure, you clearly and politely ask. This makes your communication effective. Another useful habit is learning how to soften your language when necessary, because sometimes direct language can sound too strong, especially when you are giving feedback or expressing disagreement. For example, instead of saying, "This is wrong," you can say, "I think there might be a small mistake," or "Maybe we can try a different way." This keeps the conversation positive. Let's practice. Repeat softly. I think there might be a small mistake. Again. Maybe we can try a different way. Feel the gentle tone. Now try your own example. Express something in a softer way. Take your time. Now let's move into another powerful communication skill, which is adjusting your speaking speed. Because sometimes when you feel nervous, you may speak too fast and your words become unclear. But when you slow down slightly, your communication becomes clearer and more confident. Let's try a simple rhythm together. I am speaking slowly and clearly. Say it gently, with space between the words. Now try a natural sentence. I am practicing my English every day. Keep your pace calm and steady. Now imagine a real conversation. You are speaking calmly, not rushing, not stopping too much, just flowing naturally. This creates a strong impression. Now, let's bring everything together in a gentle speaking exercise. Imagine you are talking in two different situations. First, with a friend, and then with someone you respect. You adjust your tone, your detail, and your politeness. Something like, hey, I'm just relaxing today. And then, hello, I'm taking some time to relax today. You see, same idea, different style. Let's take a simple example. Imagine someone asks you, why are you learning English? You can answer like this. I am learning English because I want to improve my communication. I practice every day, and it helps me feel more confident. So I will continue learning. This is simple, but complete. Let's practice together. Repeat softly. I am learning English because I want to improve. I practice every day, and I will continue learning. Feel the smooth structure. Now try your own example. Answer the question in your own way. Why are you learning English? Take your time and speak gently. Now let's explore another useful situation. Explaining your opinion in a longer way. Because sometimes you want to say more than just, I think. You want to explain your idea clearly. For example, I think practicing every day is important because it helps you remember what you learn and it makes your speaking more natural. So I always try to practice a little every day. You see, one idea, explained clearly, and finished naturally. Let's practice. Repeat slowly. I think practicing every day is important because it helps me improve, so I practice regularly. Very good. Now try your own opinion. Explain it in a few connected sentences. Take your time. Another important part of longer communication is staying on one topic. Sometimes, learners jump from one idea to another, and this can make their message unclear. But when you stay focused on one idea, your communication becomes stronger. For example, if you are talking about your daily routine, stay with that topic. In the morning, I wake up early, then I study, and after that, I go to work. This keeps your message clear. Let's practice. Repeat softly. In the morning, I wake up early, then I study. And after that, I go to work. Feel the steady flow. Now try your own example. Choose one topic and speak about it for a few sentences. Speak slowly and stay focused. Now let's move into another powerful skill, which is ending your message clearly, because a clear ending helps the listener understand your point, and it gives your speech a complete feeling. For example, you can end with, "So, that's why I enjoy learning English." Or, "So, that's what I usually do." These small endings make your communication feel complete. Let's practice. Repeat after me. "So, that's why I enjoy it." Again, "So, that's what I usually do." Very natural. Now, let's gently bring everything you have learned into one deeper level of awareness, because communication is not only a skill, it is a habit, something you build every day through small actions, small sentences, and small moments of courage. Sometimes, improvement does not feel fast. Sometimes, you may feel like you are repeating the same simple sentences. But what you may not notice is that those sentences are becoming smoother, clearer, and more natural. And that is how fluency grows, quietly, step by step. Joe, let's take a calm moment together and reflect on a simple speaking practice. Imagine you meet someone and you begin a conversation. You greet them, you ask a question, you listen, you respond, you share something small about yourself, and you continue. Something like, "Hello, how are you today?" "I'm doing well. I had a productive day. I studied English and practiced speaking. What about you?" This is simple, but it is real communication. Now I want you to try something gently. Create your own short conversation in your mind, or speak it softly. Start with a greeting, ask a question, give an answer, and continue for a few sentences. Don't rush. Just let your thoughts flow. Another important realization is that communication is not about knowing every word. It is about using the words you already know in a clear and meaningful way. And you have practiced that again and again through simple structures, natural patterns, and real-life examples. You have learned how to speak clearly, how to listen carefully, how to ask questions, how to respond naturally, how to show emotion, how to organize your thoughts, how to continue even when you feel unsure, and how to express yourself in your own way. All of these are powerful skills, and you are building them step by step. Now let's go into one final gentle practice. Imagine you are speaking about your English journey. You can say, "I started learning English some time ago. At first, it felt difficult, but slowly, I began to understand more. I practiced speaking every day, and now I feel more confident. I know I still have more to learn, but I am improving, and I will continue." This is your story. Simple, honest, and meaningful. Now it's your turn. Speak your own version. Talk about your journey, your effort, and your progress. Take your time and speak with calm confidence. As you continue beyond this lesson, remember something very simple. You don't need perfect English to communicate. You only need the courage to express yourself and the patience to keep improving every single day. There will be days when speaking feels easy and days when it feels a little difficult, and both are completely normal. What matters is that you continue gently, without pressure, without fear, just one sentence at a time. And every time you speak, even if it is just a small sentence, you are strengthening your ability, you are building your confidence, and you are becoming more fluent without even realizing it. So keep speaking, keep listening, keep practicing in your daily life, in your own way, because communication is not something you learn once. It is something you grow into slowly, naturally, and beautifully. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today, for your patience, your focus, and your willingness to keep learning. It truly means a lot, and I'm really proud of you for showing up and practicing step by step. I hope this lesson made you feel a little more confident, a little more relaxed, and a little more connected to your English. Because remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going gently, consistently, and with trust in yourself. If you enjoyed learning in this calm and simple way, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon so you can continue this journey with me every single day with new lessons, new practice, and new opportunities to grow. And if you can, take just a few minutes after this and practice what you learned today. Speak a few sentences, repeat some patterns, or describe your day, because small daily practice creates big results over time. Thank you again for being here with me, for learning with me, and for growing with me. I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care of yourself. Keep smiling and keep speaking slowly, clearly, and with confidence.